Okay, abusia ye be mo bibia kwa ba na abusia eye endrada ana news bi eboba abontia na chese Richard Japa etimi a petition eye CID say on investigate eye Godfred Dame over eye ambulance case bia nanka Godfred Dame former attorney general epeso ofa ho na odi jeli eye Akuffo na abusia enda me na wokasei audio sibi ababa abontia eye nkoma twetwe a eye tama case ewo court no eye former attorney general Godfred Dame ene Japa twetwe no phone so Japa record eye attorney general former attorney general eye Godfred Dame na busua ensema ewo audio nim no esewani ensese ekachiro Godfred Dame is likely say yebetimi ache no na according to Kevin Taylor no o si yenya ache Godfred Dame a da audio sin ensem na course ewo audio sin no yebetimi agina so e de ajeli eye Godfred Dame 10 years abusua ensem akoso na me waste time no mepesem ba me akọ na akwakuti de course ni bi na asana be kono se dwumadi onya like ya ma hwehwe be like share ma foforo sensa entumi enkabi medamase
time we be amobia now Japa petitions CID to investigate Dame for alleged evidence fabrication in ambulance case and ye nyina ya to say a year Mr. Japa wako a year de police akọ lodge complain say opese emra ewo Ghana ni edwuma opese pepe yo eda bibia o se koda yentumi ntina krum abra ye suspect say obia ye bibia emfa kwan mu na sa nipa no ye jana mananante yentumi ye selective about who the law at the end of the day it deals with. Now the decision Japa taking a very good decision because said Godfred Dame nipa bia opese o cleaning ho off the crime I say wa committee allegedly Godfred Dame will be happy that Japa is telling the CID to investigate this matter. During the ambulance trial, no, who say during the trial, no, Godfred Dame efre Japa, Emma Japa de recording no. Now in the conversation, no, Godfred Dame try say obe ne Japa say Japa enko twan trobi na M1 case na ontumi angeli atoforcing. In the conversation between Godfred Dame and na former attorney general, na omudi sankomo no na case reader who court. Godfred Dame and the lead prosecutor. Ono na ode de Japa ejina court or the attorney general court say or pese abandi omkoto efiase. Nanso Godfred Dame fa kuti kwan so efre Japa e phone so ena na opese okwa anase odane dane asam no or force Japa ma Japa ekotwa tro. Send ye beya at the end of the day no ye de atu forcing ebeko jail inti asem no ye di mu an ye ko hu sedabi de attorney general ye no etiamra nanso na judge oti asem no so judge na oti case no so no sebio de Ghana for ka che judge ni nyina say judge yesrew sa asem we e asem bia wo court na asem wo court no e den e na attorney general a me no ka say odi asem anim etumi efre eye nipa na original court o say sebio webu mra so no na attorney general no etumi efa kotikwan so try say obedada no say nipa no nkotwa atro na yentumi fa Ghana ni ntum judge we ye frɛ no madam ana eye efia sewa asaribotwe maami we enete na ote saa asɛm no so impempenso bi Ghana fo nyina bufu se na maami judge attorney general Ghana sebio eba embra aban lawyer oni na di anim no webu mra so na embra na obu so no enye bosremuka eye embra webu so a eho engina so ana evidence wo ho. So you are supposed to take action. Unless you the judge, you are basically conniving with the attorney general to break the law. Intamagana fo bebre bufuye eka se eye den attorney general wo ti asem so utumi fa kotikwan so na wo frɛ omo wa asem nim na o ka kire omo se omo nkotwa atro na wa asem nye de sa asem ya mi ken a Japa and the Akroma police say yentu yensa emfra eye den attorney general na yentoto nano na yenhu asem no sebio se de na ono ka no e no kra every say o wadanse. Now so refia this was a conversation a transfer between Japa and the attorney general Godfred Dame. Mrs. Do you have the Japa Godfred Dame conversation? If you are Ghana for namu refi. Mrs. Mr. P, do you have the conversation? I don't have it on the system. Inti Japa edisa audio no ebe to abontene ena oma Ghana fo nyina eti asie se in some way ene in some eye attorney general frɛ no e kan wo edien eye phone so a opese Ghana fo nyina ehu and me kai say minim say Ghana fo bebre mu we fi nti asem we no se Godfred am ye nipa bi a oka no kra na se onim se bone a eye jakpa eka se wedi no ondi ya I am very sure say obepese edien eye CID office no ebeton safre no na sebio wabeso abeka the side of the story say ebia jakpa asem na oka no jakpa sebio oditro na eye utie eye conversation na me try abo conversation actually e was say utie asie say time a eye attorney general efra jakpa no eye Godfred Dame no na asem no court na asem no yeda hu di na asem no eye den Godfred Dame ababonta beka che Ghana for say opeso jeli atoforsin efri say atoforsin ene jakpa mo no ambulance contract bi no sebio atoforsin akodi ngine mu ama ne boss eye finance minister no oye na bedi chire akọ sign document ena na jakpa so ye agent ma company na ede ambulance ne ba ye no nti Godfred Dame ka say ekwan bia so no obejeli eye atoforsin ene jakpa na enim say the same time no Godfred Dame so enam eye den enam ekwan chire anase onam kotikwan bi so eye den edi inkomo we chire dada eye den eye jakpa say emedi atro e court na ema na asem nye de se ne be ya obetumi ebua eye den atoforsin for. Now I know some majority of you have forgotten about this audio. Mama yenko tie eye conversation.
You pay only after the goods have been delivered, because that's also the contract, not so.
Yes, but then the financial instrument for the project is an irrevocable letter of credit. So
Good.
So that credit letter has already been sent.
No problem. But in my view, that letter of credit area, the contract requires that you pay by letters of credit, not so.
Yes, in addition, we should establish it upon the front of the contract. So already you have in procuring all the accessories and everything to manufacture. So the manufacturer will use his own money to buy the ambulance vans, all the accessories from across the globe, with the security from government being the LC. And the LC has conditions precedent.
Hold on. Okay.
Yeah.
Does advance payment not mean paying in advance of the delivery of the goods?
They said no advance payment.
Yes, advance payment means that you are paying before the goods are delivered to you.
No, they said no advance payment. Not that there's advance payment. Yes. No advance. Mean that you will not pay.
Yes, until the goods are delivered to you, not so.
Yes.
Yeah, so until the goods are delivered, you don't pay at all.
You don't pay.
Not so. So, and then also it goes ahead to say that payment shall be in a free manner. LC is on site of goods. In fact, what is it even LC on site of goods? What does it mean?
What LC on site of goods means is that when you ship the documents, when you ship the goods, when you ship the goods from your port of origin, the bill of lading of the goods is what you use as
LC on site of goods means means when the goods have been shipped.
They have been shipped.
Not
and then
the goods have been delivered in Ghana.
No, when the goods have been shipped. Because you have gone to do principles. So what I'm trying to explain is that so you use the bill of lading. You use a bill of lading. You use a bill of lading.
You establish the LCs after pre-shipment inspection. No dispute about that.
No, the LC is established as soon as you sign the contract. You establish the LC, and that becomes the security comfort for the supplier to invest his money.
It says LCs on site of goods are returned upon the signing of the contract.
Yes.
For every 50 ambulances.
Yes.
Yes. Which contract is this? It's not a contract for every 50 ambulances. So in under this main contract, this was like the main contract.
The main contract and LC for every 50 of the 200. So the contract is not saying that government should establish one LC which is 15.8 million euros for the whole 200 at a go. No. Government has a bulk contract of 15.8 million euros. Now, this contract will become, the ambulance will be coming in tranches of 50 ambulances. So you establish your LC for the 50. When that 50 have been delivered and everything sorted out and handed over, another LC is established for another subsequent 50 until you finish all the 200. That is what the contract says. So the LC that was established.
Even then, hold on. I don't agree with your explanation. But even then, this your explanation. That's not what happened in this case.
Okay, what happened?
Yeah, that's not what happened. Yes, because the LC was established even before pre-shipment inspection.
Yes.
Also,
yes.
There was no pre-shipment inspection. So, it should have been, so it means there was no basis for the LC to be established in the first place.
No.
That's really not your problem anyway.
Right, that place,
Yeah.
in that particular place, you are getting it wrong. If you may have patience for me to explain to you.
No.
You are getting it wrong there because when you establish LC, the LC had conditions precedent for it to be on it. And the condition precedent states that you can only cash the LC when you present shipping documents, which is bill of lading, to the Ghana International Bank of the buyer before the LC can be honored. So even though the LC was established upon the signing of the contract, was supposed to be established upon the signing of the contract, it cannot be cashed or honored. It becomes a form of security for the supplier to invest his own money. And when he ships the ambulances, he can then send a bill of lading to your bankers to then honor the LC, because that is a condition precedent.
But in any case, in this case, even the LC was actually cashed. Everything. That payment was actually made before the goods were shipped.
No.
The goods got to Ghana.
No.
Oh yeah.
He couldn't have the supplier. There is no way under the sun he could have cashed the LC before the shipping document, which were condition precedent, was presented to Ghana International Bank. Even when he presented the document to Ghana International Bank, Ghana International
back and explain to him what LC means. Has to explain to him how LC can be cleared. Has to explain to him the role of the agency, the role of the ministry, the role of the health ministry. And this is the Attorney General. And at a point, statement Attorney General Godfred, former Attorney General, and make it dangerous and say, or say, if you agree to my theory, to this theory, and I say, I cannot agree to what you want me to agree to. And I'll say, okay, if you agree, or okay, let's say you agree to my way, and it will make things easy for me. And Jakpaka say, I will be dishonest. Many Pabonini say, who Attorney General person be chatro. Na mi trust atro na at the end of the day, no, ebema atofos na ko jail. It is sa atronomy to me chat. I think Jakpaka say, only me yesia bebre, yesia kura wa judge penyini bi fie about this matter. Abra ye nyina ejina court. Enti wa unim say, enya dia metumi atwatro e dia boa wo case ma obi akodem. E ho na Attorney General ka say, oh, na say unim say okra me nya show record me ana we wiase de wa unim me sure say record. And also media me no we fine pa ye di nkomo acha ye ko eye judge ba kokra fie ko di nkomo asem we nyina ekoso no o de ye di nkomo no say wa unim me say bia o record na ade it Attorney General no that statement kokra shows say no onim de oye onim say de no oye no na eye crime. Godfred knew that moment na oni eye Jakpa ekasa of phone so abra case no court no he knew say he was committing a crime. The intentions were clear for him to even raise the issue, say I hope you are not recording me. For him to make that statement, the intent was that he knew that his action that moment was wrong and that he was committing a crime. What he was doing was against the ethics of his job. What he was doing was against Emrano, and that if any ordinary Ghanaian does this, like myself, like yourself, that they call ordinary Ghanaian, if anybody does this, he can stand in court and jail the person. The moment Attorney General, former Attorney General Godfred Eka say, I hope you are not recording me, no. Na onim se odibone. The intent is what we are establishing here. Because na onim se ondibone a anka onka say be sure say record me, because no onim say recording in kwane be evidence anyone can use against him that he actually committed a crime. If nobody was recording him, he wouldn't have been worried. But onim says obi recorded the okana that can be used against him in any court for him to be pronounced guilty. And it's na Oka say, I hope nobody is recording me. Into that statement alone, no, it makes Godfred Dame a very dangerous human being. He is not supposed to work in any law court and call himself a lawyer. A dangerous. Now listen, when you take your time and read a year code of conduct, sa code of conduct a bo a year a juma ho buying Godfred Dame sebio a juma na oye as the Attorney General of Ghana. No, so read the code of conduct now. 1. Fabrication of evidence. Definition: intentionally creating or manipulating evidence to mislead the court or influence judicial proceedings. What Attorney General Godfred Dame, it was basically fabrication of evidence. Because what he was doing was that court proceedings, not or manipulate witness, not or fabricate a story. He was even telling the witness to toe his line. He was telling the witness that, you see, if you can do it my way, my theory, meaning Attorney General ana Godfred Dame na oti case no so na ogina court ye the main prosecutor no, he was misleading the court. He was influencing judicial process. And for him to even say, I hope nobody is recording me, he knew there was evidential material. It can be used against him. Say, Asamna Okaino, say, a Attorney General, and a prosecutor be, and this evidence, and make sure they say, another witness is talking to a lawyer now. The Attorney General could have used that material evidence to prosecute somebody. Until he knew. And when it comes to law, when it comes to crime, majority of the time, it is the intent behind the crime. Anything your crime will be your first degree murder, second degree murder, your manslaughter. The intent behind it will make either let the judge pronounce you say we're first degree murder, we're second degree murder, we're manslaughter. The intent, and the intent we realized, and as we saw in we heard in the audio, Godfred Dame knew what he was doing. He knew he was committing a crime. Godfred Dame knew he was going against the code of conduct. Now, Hadie. When you read the code of conduct, and it's not make us say Godfred Dame him say on di bone on Addo ye entiamra entia ethics and our code of conduct na dear Jakpa eye say oyobia okano cry, he will be happy because this is the time for him to at the end of the day declare himself to prove to Ghana for say he is not a corrupt judicial person, he's not a corrupt lawyer. And when he was the Attorney General, he wasn't basically influencing judicial proceedings. Godfred Dame so can cry. He should not be ashamed of this. He should be happy. And by this time, I was saying Godfred Dame to be releasing statement. And that's why I press conference. Because I am happy this is going to the authorities for investigations. Because I believe I never did this. I didn't say this. Whatever is out there is a lie. But because Godfred Dame knows he's guilty. Because what we had, the intent, and a which clearly shows he is guilty. He's quiet. Godfred Dame abused his office. Now, when you go to the fabrication of evidence, this is what it says. I say relevant law, section 213 of the Criminal Code Act 29. Into Criminal Code Act, punishment felony conviction. Now, so when you intentionally create or manipulate evidence and answer mislead court or influence judicial proceedings, you can be arrested. In fact, your friend will be felony conviction. You better match what we say. And from what we heard, what we listened to, Godfred Dame basically was trying to do what? Mislead the court or influence judicial proceedings or manipulate, intentionally trying to manipulate evidence. This is crazy. This is not a joke. Now, so punishment now up to 10 years imprisonment. Or say, ya chill. Na say you na say oh yes, sad now so could demu if you do 10 years. And if Mahama says we are resetting, there's a reset agenda. These are the kind of things we need to do. We need to reset the system. Obey against the decision Jakpa has taken to move this to the CID. Sign the panorama number 4, your Chrome 4. Because then if you don't support this action by Jakpa, now we are Now you're comfort. Because then, how are we going to make sure the right things are done? Because people like Godfred Amina, you're more the position to be attorney generals. You know? They should know better. They should know the law. They carry themselves around that they are lawyers. They are well learned. They know the law. So if you know the law, then there's no excuse here, especially when you are the attorney general. You need to come and clean yourself, especially when there is a clear-cut evidence on the table that you and I can listen to and deduce. Attorney General Godfred can go to jail after the CID investigations. He actually did that. He can go to jail for 10 years. Depending on severity and intent, up to 10 years imprisonment, depending on severity and intent. In law, intent is very important. So we come for life, intent. So we come for 1 year, intent. So we come for 10 days, 10 years, the intent behind your actions. If the investigations started, not that conclusion be who say the intent was him trying to manipulate the process 10 years. The intent was for him to influence the judicial proceedings 10 years. The intent was intentionally creating or manipulating evidence 10 years. Godfred fell on in the back because the intent. Now, how do we establish intent?
All right, it's just winning some so our political highway such as the timer na ambulance case court na court in India s0nměnt former Attorney General Godfred efa kokuam ene japa ekoye ko senka japa entinase nanka ontimi jeli Akuffo which was against court embrana not just according to Kevin Telenoche say Godfred ebu embraso inti sadia o si itimi chi Godfred na chese yitimi jeli no 10 years esan say ewo constitution anase ewo court embra mu say asem ewo court na court India s0nměnt wi ya wo Attorney General oni ho kwan say ofokukuam ekoye kanana simply because opese ujeli the victim involved here na chese entwe ya busua medemo besia na madam asesa je peniye emiyekoti samo a ekoso our political highway so POG Media madam ase